Hey guys, how are you doing? I have been not making any new memories or experiences, so I'm back with another story to tell. Speaking of new things, I have actually moved back to my parents' house, as you guys can probably tell already. So yeah, I'm finally done with all the moving situation that's been going around for this past month. So buckle up and get ready for more videos to come up. So I was unpacking and reorganizing my stuff, and I found this masterpiece, inside of which there are messages from my coworkers that I used to work with at McDonald's saying how great of a McDonald's employee I was, which I am now confused as to whether I should take that as a compliment or as an insult. Because to me, it almost feels like people are saying to me, "Oh my God, you're so good at things that suck." You know what I mean? But anyway, while I was reading this, I thought, why don't I give you guys a brief synopsis of my experience of working at McDonald's in Japan, along with some of the struggles that I think only Japanese McDonald's crew may face. So, am I gonna get in trouble by calling them out? I don't know, but let's call them out for literally no reason. Just a little bit. Just a smidge. Okay, first thing first, since I can already feel physically some of you guys in the comment section saying to me, "Oh my gosh, Shun, why did you even decide to work at a fast food restaurant? That's the worst job you could ever get." Well, let me explain, Chad. I don't know how that happened, and I know it may sound very weird to you guys, but working in McDonald's in Japan isn't as looked down upon. In fact, I think it's the opposite. Well, at least at the time when I used to work there. Because I clearly remember when I told my parents that I wanted to work at this gas station because one of my best friends was working there, they told me, "Nah, I don't think so. That's a shitty place to work at. Why don't you work at a better place like McDonald's?" Like, can you believe, not to bash on anyone who's working at McDonald's right now, but can you believe if Asian parents said that in America? But somehow working at McDonald's in Japan, it's kind of seen more clean, more innocent, and more kind of professional. Like every time people asked me where I worked, I'd tell them in this kind of almost condescending tone, not a big deal, but I work at McDonald's. Again, I'm not entirely sure how it's seen nowadays, but in my days at least, that was a thing, and that was one big reason why I actually stayed there. And also, I had a huge crush on this senpai of mine. I don't know if they intentionally look for cute girls during their hiring process, or it's just me catching feelings for whoever talks to me, but McDonald's in Japan tend to have really pretty employees. Just saying, just throwing that out there. So yeah, back to the point, that's how I ended up working there, and I actually stayed there. Overall, it was a fun experience, but at the same time, it felt like a nightmare. And let me explain why it felt like a nightmare. Okay, so say you come to Japan, and out of all the other better options, out of all the Japanese, delicious Japanese foods that you can only get in Japan, say hypothetically, you somehow make a fateful decision to go to McDonald's, which you most likely have in your own country. Say that happened. Please don't order Teriyaki Burger. For the love of God, please don't.
Teriyaki Burger, 新登場.
I know, it sounds good. I mean, it is very tempting for how Japanese it sounds, right? A burger with a teriyaki patty in it. I mean, there's no way that could go wrong. In fact, I think it is one of the most popular burgers of all time. But at the same time, it is such a horrendous, unnecessary, awful hassle to assemble them. Japan, I think, is the only country where McDonald's actually tries to live up to the word fast in the name of a fast food restaurant. We take the fastness very seriously. So there's a constant pressure from the manager and those on the cash register all the time. But this little teriyaki freaking burger, it's so time consuming to make, and it's so messy. I don't know who the heck thought that it was a good idea to dip the patty into the sauce instead of just spreading it on top like every other burger on the menu, because once you dip the patty into the sauce, she's gone. It gets so slippery that it just slips out of the tongue, and after you somehow manage to get it out from the bottom of the sauce ocean, oh man, it's so drippy. It basically ejaculates all over the place and you have no control over it. It gets to the point where you're somehow embarrassed. I am so mad at myself right now that I cannot articulate how much of a struggle it was, but trust me, I would go to bed dreading my next shift, because that means I'd have to make that darn thing again and again and again and again, and people love it. Granted, I know I can't control you not to order teriyaki burger, especially right after I told you it's pretty good, but just remember, every time you order that darn thing, you're making the people in the kitchen want to separate themselves, so yeah. So remember how I said Japanese McDonald's actually tries to serve the food very fast and kind of take pride in it? Well, they once even had the audacity to start this promotion called Rokuji Bio campaign. It was basically like, ladies and gentlemen, from today, no matter how big or small your order may be, we'll serve your food within 60 seconds after you place the order, or else you get a free coupon of whatever burger you'd like. Very creative. Very creative. So here's how it works. The cashier takes an order and she puts a sunglass that runs for a minute in front of the customer, and then she just proceeds to stare at us kitchen people dead in the eye, like screaming, "Make the burger right now." Like, I genuinely didn't understand the point of this campaign as to who benefits out of this. You think customers are happy because they may get a coupon? No. In reality, in the process of trying to prepare the food within 60 seconds, we had no choice but butcher down simply. Like, really, who the heck was behind the decision for this promotion? If you majored in business or marketing, please help me, because I am still confused till this day as to why this was even a thing in real life in the world. Because obviously, as an employee, I hated this. If I didn't make it fast enough, what do I get? A disapproving look from my manager. And say I somehow managed to assemble all the foods within the timeline, and what do you think I get? Newsflash, nothing. So there was this time I got an order of a shrimp burger right after I stopped out at the shrimp patty, and that patty takes forever to get cooked. You'd have to deep fry it for like 2 minutes, and that's already past minute, right? So I was in a rush, and since I was in a rush, I made a mistake that I would have not made otherwise. When it was finally cooked, I picked it up from the fryer and I just may or may not have dropped it on the floor and straight up served it. I know, I did it. Crucify me all you want. It's not me. It's that stupid 60 seconds promotion. It's the pressure, okay? You don't know what I've been through. But in all seriousness, all of us, even managers, hated the promotion, so they don't do this anymore. So lucky you, whoever working at McDonald's right now in Japan, who happens to be watching this video, so yeah. So there's this one video where I talked about how Japanese schools are like prison. Well, working at McDonald's in Japan wasn't quite far from that. Here's some disgusting rules in Japanese McDonald's. 1. Very classic. You cannot dye your hair. If your manager catches that you have dyed your hair to like even dark brownish, she will spray color your hair to black right on the spot. I am not joking. I literally saw that happen multiple times. And of course, another classic one. You also can't get your ears pierced. It's not like you cannot wear earrings during your shift. It's that you cannot get your ears pierced. You cannot have a hole in your ear. If you did, you have to cover the hole with a band-aid or something, which makes it even more obvious that there's something going on underneath it, right? And my biggest pet peeve, like I still cringe every time I go to McDonald's and see them still adhering to this rule, is that we have to say "thank you desu" to each other out loud. Not even thank you or thank you, but "thank you desu." And the reason why I thought this was kind of embarrassing and stupid idea is that we are obligated to say this out loud as response to anything. Literally anything. ポテト上がりました。サンキューです。あ、休憩入ります。サンキューです。このソフトツイストの機械また調子悪いですね。サンキューです。エビのパティ落としたんですけど、そのまま出しました。サンキューです。さっきうんこ漏らしたんですけど、そのまま素手で拭いて、そのまま洗してます。Thank you, Dad. Like, if I were to say hi, which sounds way more appropriate in this kind of situations, I would get corrected right on the spot to say thank you desu. Like, I cannot even imagine how weird and stupid that would be if I go to McDonald's in, a different country and people are saying arigato very much or anything like that instead of saying yes. Like, it would be so weird, you know what I mean? Like, I get it, it's an American fast food restaurant, but still, like, it's in Japan. So what do you guys think as an English speaker? Please let me know in the comment section. And lastly, but definitely not the least, if you're Japanese or have lived in Japan for quite a long time, you should know this very well. So in Japanese McDonald's, we have this menu. Very unique. Everyone loves it. And on top of that, it's free. That is Smile. Now, obviously, we're not selling any sort of physical item called Smile for free, right? It's just a little fun way of saying that we are committed to serving you with a smile. But anyone with a freaking brain can imagine that, logically thinking, if we put Smile 0 yen on the McDonald's menu, a bunch of middle schoolers will be like, スマイルの L サイズ2つ And you know what? I was at the front sometimes on the cash register, and let's just say that dealing with middle schoolers wasn't my forte, okay? I didn't know what to do when they did this to me, so I would just give them a straight face. No smile, no anger, no sadness, no nothing. But for your reference, I'll show you how the cute employees deal with it.
あとスマイルください。
スマイルお持ち帰りなさいますか？
いらないです。
But please keep in mind that even with these pretty employees, inside their heart, if you did that to them, they want to freaking punch you in the face. So don't do it, okay? Or else you might get your drink with their spit in it. If you like that kind of stuff, there's no way to save you. Go see a doctor. Don't come to McDonald's.
この本前に読んだな。
So yeah, I did it. I did a whole video literally nobody asked for. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and please let me know what you guys thought in the comment section. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching. Peace!